Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you were new. I just started this channel. I'm just gonna be my real true self on this channel. So yeah, there's no fakery here. Like, I'm not gonna be fake, but yeah, I just want to share stuff with you guys, and maybe I can help somebody. You just never know. So this video is going to be about my multiple sclerosis journey. When I was 20, I was diagnosed with relapsing remitting multiple sclerosis. I am now about to be 26 here in like 2 weeks. So it has been almost 6 years now. And it's crazy that time has went by so fast. Like, 6 years goes by in a blink of an eye. Like, I don't know. But I guess if we just want to rewind to the beginning, I started having my first symptoms of MS, I want to say around 16. I stayed tired as a teenager, like more tired than usual. I'm not sure if that was a correlation with the MS or what, but I stayed really tired all the time. I did work, but like I said, the fatigue was just all the time. Like, rest did not help. I can remember one morning in particular, I was going to school. I was driving to school, and I had to drive about 30 minutes to school from where I live. I felt like there was this like sensation on top of my head of like rain falling down. Like, it just felt like raindrops or something, which is like some kind of nerve issue, you know. So I remember looking up at the ceiling of the car, and I was like, it's not leaking, it's not even raining. Here I am thinking something's falling on my head. But yeah, I think that was my first symptom. I started having like the wet feeling on top of my head, and I would have it sometimes like on my shoulders and, you know, different areas of my body. And excuse my voice and excuse my hair. I just woke up not too long ago. I slapped some makeup on, so I do my hair, all that. But anyways. So yeah, that was like my first symptoms. And fast forward to when I was 19, I went to work one day. I was working a lot. I worked at a Papa John's Pizza in my town. And I went to work one day, and my vision in my left eye started getting really blurry. Like, I was working the cash register, so like I couldn't really see out of that one eye. I would keep having to like try to focus my eye. It was just blurry, just in the one eye. And I thought to myself, maybe I'm just working too much, because I had worked like a lot of overtime hours, like a lot. So, I didn't think much of it. I should have thought much of it, blurriness in my eye, but I didn't think much of it because it wasn't so bad. I went home that night. My vision was still blurry. I thought, well, if it's like this tomorrow, I'm going to try to go to the eye doctor. And so I woke up the next morning, and I couldn't see out of my left eye. Couldn't see. It was about black, like nothing. So I was freaking out at this point. So I made an eye doctor's appointment, and they got me in, luckily. And he ran a few tests on my eyes, and he said that it looked like to him that I had optic neuritis. So I didn't know what this was. I'm new to all this. So he said he wanted to refer me to an eye specialist. So I got referred to an eye specialist. I'm pretty sure I went pretty fast because, yeah, my vision was so bad. But I went and seen the eye specialist in another town over, and she was really, really nice. And she ran some tests on me, and she said it was definitely optic neuritis. So basically, your optic nerve is just flared up, swollen up, whatever, and it's causing blurry vision. And so she's like, I really, I think she gave me some kind of eye drops or something to try. And then I went home. Well, not long later, my vision was still blurry. And y'all hear this in the background? Let me turn this down. All right, y'all, I'm back. You hear that Young and Restless playing in the background. But yeah, my vision was still blurry, so I ended up going. I'm pretty sure, I want to say I went to the ER. They said that it would help, it would just, subside over time with the drops. I was kind of freaking out low-key, but so it did subside, and a little bit. And then it came back bad, like within, I want to say, weeks. So I went back to the eye specialist, and she looked at it, and she was like, your optic nerve's still inflamed. I don't know what's causing this, so I feel like we should send you to the nearest hospital for an emergency MRI of your brain and spine, because, that's what she wanted to do. So she sent me to the ER, nearest hospital. And here I am, 19 years old. I'm scared to death. I don't know what's going on at all. And so I go into the ER, and they start giving me, IVs and stuff. I hate IVs. And so then I think a neurologist comes in and sees me, and he's like, I want to do a brain and spine MRI, and I want to do a spinal tap. And I was like, okay, well, I'm like so scared of procedures. Like, I need to read all about them on Google. It freaks me out. I don't know. So here I am. I got my phone up. I'm going for the spinal tap first. He tells me, and then he leaves the room. So I got my phone up. I'm about to look up a spinal tap, because at 19 years old, I did not know what a spinal tap was. Never had that. Never heard of it. Nothing. So I'm sitting on my phone, and I'm like, spinal tap, looking it up. And as soon as I press the search button, he comes in to get me. So I did not have time to look it up, which was probably good, because if I would have known, I would have never went, probably. So he comes in there, and he takes me down to the spinal tap place, and it's like this surgery looking room or whatever. And he's like, okay, here, sign these papers, and get up here and lay down on your stomach and on this flat table. I'm like, okay, and I signed this paper basically saying that if, something happened, it wasn't their fault. And I'm like, okay. And so I'm laying there, and they do the spinal tap, and I wouldn't say that it hurts so much as I would say it's a lot of pressure. Like, it literally feels like there's a literal car sitting on your back. It's pressure. Like, I was like, when is this going to be over? Like, they had problems getting a lot of spinal fluid from my spine. I don't know why. But they had to tilt me up on the I'm not trying to scare anybody. But they had to tilt me up on the table and, try to get more fluid to come down. But it was over. I don't even know how long it took. I felt like I was delirious at that time. So yeah, so I was done, and they sent me back to my room. I had to wait till the following night to get an MRI of my brain and spine, because they was only doing the critical people at first, so I had to stay in the hospital. So as soon as they got my results back from the spinal tap, they had found that I had multiple sclerosis, I guess, by then. So they started me on, they knew, but they didn't tell me. They started me on a high dose of IV steroid for 1 day. So I had to go ahead and take that. Well, when I finally got my brain scan and my spine scan, they had found lesions, and a neurologist came in and talked to me and told me that she was pretty sure that it was multiple sclerosis. She knew it was. And so when she comes in there and tells me that, I was like kind of relieved. I was like, thank God that I'm not like immediately dying, like I don't have some kind of like emergency situation. But then again, I was like, I don't know what MS is. And I felt ashamed to say that I didn't know what MS was. I had never heard of it. I did have somebody in the family who had it, but they were like distant family. And I just never heard. I mean, I heard, how she was, but I just never knew. Like, I thought MS was like something to do with your back or something, like scoliosis, like multiple sclerosis. And so I'm like, okay, what is that? And she's like, oh, explaining to me what MS was. And, I'm like, okay. So I go ahead and do the 3 days of IV steroids there. And then I finally get to come home. And it was all just a roller coaster. I had turned 20 in just a few days. So that's why I say I was diagnosed when I was 20. But yeah, I came home and, I started healing and my vision started coming back from the steroids. And I went to a neurologist, followed up with a neurologist, and they started me on Copaxone. It's like a once daily injection. And a nurse came out and showed me how to use like the shots and everything. And it was okay at first. And then Copaxone was shown like not to help me at all. So they switched me to a once daily pill called Abagio. And I'm still on that currently. I've been on it for a few years now. I feel like it has helped me. It has caused tremendous hair loss for me. And it has caused nausea that's just never went away. And the hair loss has never went away. As you can see, my hair's pretty thin. It falls out every time I take a shower. But, I mean, if it's helping my MS, that's something I can compromise with. So, yeah, time goes on. I wake up one morning again, my vision's blurry again. This happens, I don't know, maybe 2 years later. It was a while before I had another relapse. So I wake up, same thing, call my neurologist. I had to go to an infusion center to get the 3 days of steroids, IV steroids. It subsided within time. After that, I started having a lot more fatigue symptoms, just everyday symptoms. Just feeling really tired. I started developing panic attacks again. I had very bad panic attacks when I was 14 years old. That's when they first started. For no reason whatsoever. I'd actually had a breakup with this boy I was dating at 14. And after we broke up, it was just like triggered my first panic attack ever. I was pacing the floors and thought I was gonna die and all that. But anyways, yeah, started developing panic attacks, anxiety, all that. I'm not sure if MS causes that, but I've heard about a lot of people with MS that has like very bad panic attacks. So I don't know if it correlates, but yeah, so that was the 2 relapses I had. And fast forward, I did great for a few years. Fast forward to last October, I had went to the beach and I had drove to the beach all the way there by myself. I was offered help because my grandmother went with me. But me being me, I just wanted to get there. I wanted to say I completed the whole trip. I was being stubborn. I didn't want her to have to drive. I wanted to just try to do it myself, I'm, 25 years old. I should be able to complete a 5-hour drive. But being in the car for so long really just made my legs feel so super heavy. Like, when I would get out, I was like, whoa. Like, I felt like I was walking on I felt like I was walking on like an inflatable jump house or something. That's how I felt. But it made me super fatigued. And when we got there, I ended up going to sleep immediately. The next day, I actually got in the hot tub that they had there. If you have MS, you know that if you have a heat intolerance with MS, you know that that is a big no-no. Like, you do not get in the hot tubs, especially over 100 degrees. Well, I thought, this is my vacation. Surely it won't hurt me not one time, you know. So I get in there, and that night when I was taking a shower at the end of the day, I could not feel my back. I could not feel the water on my back. I could not feel a lot of areas, like on my body, were just numb. And so I thought, well, this is an MS thing, you know, it'll go away. I'm just, you know, having an exaggeration or whatever. And so we're there for a few days. The numbness just, it stays. It never goes away. It was like in the back of my legs and my back and some parts of my stomach. And so then we're finally on our way home. And I was driving at first. I was going to take breaks on the way home. And the top of my head started going numb. And it's just like over the course of a few hours, it went numb from the top of my head to my toes. My whole body was numb. And it freaked me out. I mean, because I have very bad anxiety anyways, and if you're going to go numb from head to toe, of course it's going to freak you out. Guys, I'll be right back. I got to take a bathroom break. Hey y'all, I'm back. So anyways, like I was saying, it freaked me out that my whole body went numb. So when I finally came back, trying to make sure y'all can hear me. Of course, I went and seen my neurologist, and he did an MRI of my brain and found that there was no active lesions. So he says he doesn't think it's MS related. But honestly, I just still to this day don't know what caused it. I'm part of like many MS groups on Facebook, and there's people that has went through the same thing. So I don't know of anything else it could be than MS, honestly. So now, as we stand, that happened in October. This is August. I can feel certain parts now, but certain parts I still can't. Like, my head's a big one, like, that I can't feel still. My face is still numb, and like when I'm in the shower, I can't feel myself washing my hair. It's really just aggravating. But I'm not complaining because people do have it worse than me. But I'm just trying to raise awareness on the things that can happen and my journey of what's happened to me so far. So yeah, this is where we're at now. I have another scan at the end of this month to see if I need to switch my treatment or not, and see if I've progressed any. So I'm nervous about that, but it is what it is, and we'll see, and hopefully there will be a cure one day. I don't know. I have faith and hope that there will be a cure. I hope very soon, in the near future. There's already so many treatments out there that, you know, are good ones and do help people. But yeah, everybody's story is different, unfortunately, with MS. You know, some people have it way worse than others, and some people don't even know they have MS. I actually have a friend that lives in Alabama, and he's had it for a long, long time, and he just can't tell he's ever had it. Other than staying tired, he says, and I'm like, you are lucky. You're lucky. But yeah, that's my story, and if I can be of help to you guys, you know, any way possible, just reach out and let me know, and I'm here to talk. If anybody ever wants to talk or, you know, has any questions, feel free to ask. I'm always here. You know, whether you have MS or not, I'm always here. So thank you guys for watching, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one.